Welcome back to the iAchilles channel, everyone. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about a few things that's happening. The other day I was on my way to work and I was listening to Don Imus, and he had Stuart Varney on. Stuart Varney is a Fox News contributor. He's an economic Fox News contributor. He's supposed to be real smart about the economy and things of that nature. And he said that the debt ceiling has to be raised, but the problem is we need to demand that Congress stop spending. Now that is just not serious. I mean, how do you demand that somebody stops spending when you just increased the limit on their credit card? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We need real cuts in this country, and we should be focusing on the agencies that are not working in the best interest of the United States of America. That would be the EPA. We could save billions of dollars a year cutting funding to that organization who is doing nothing but undermining our country, undermining our economy. We need to get rid of the Department of Energy, because the Department of Energy was created to get us off our dependency on foreign oil, and that has not happened. And it is not going to happen because the Department of Energy and the EPA work together to put roadblocks in the way of domestic drilling. So how do you get off foreign oil? You don't. And that's by design. And these two organizations are behind it. And, we need to cut the funding and end them. That's how you cut funding. Cut the funding to the Federal Department of Education. Because since they've been created, our numbers in the world statistically have gone down. We are, what, 35th in the world in education now? Since this department has been developed, it's a way of fleecing and dumbing down America. We need to focus and come to the realization that this entire crisis is by design. It's by design. You cannot fundamentally transform the United States of America unless you destroy it. Economically, you can't destroy it militarily because we're the most powerful country on the planet. So you have to destroy it economically if you want to make the changes that these people want to make. You have to get people on the dole so that they'll empower you to take it from others. And that's what's happening, the redistribution of wealth in this nation. And around the world, our nation, the wealth of this nation is being given to third world countries. For example, Brazil. Obama has put all kinds of regulations and roadblocks in the way of American companies drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico, yet he's loaned Brazil billions of dollars to do just that, and then told them that we're going to be their best customer. Do you see what I'm saying here? They are not working in the best interest of this country. Standard & Poor's says America is in danger of losing its AAA rating if we don't get our fiscal ship in order. Obama says increasing the debt limit must be accompanied with spending cuts. He's talking about, his spending cuts are within the tax code. Because Obama feels as though that all of the money is the government, and they just allow you to keep it. But the reality is it's the individual's money that he is fleecing. He is taking this. Spending cuts in the tax code, meaning eliminating tax cuts. He's talking about the millionaires and billionaires. But the reality is he's going after middle class. You have to destroy the middle class. Saul Alinsky. Obama is an Alinskyite. He is a community organizer. Saul Alinsky is the father of community organizing. Obama learned this. He's memorized this book. He taught this book. He taught these strategies and tactics. And what you do is you create disenchantment. You destroy what is here in order to change it. Because nobody's going to go along with the fundamental transformation of the United States of America if we're strong. Have you noticed that Democrats don't want to cut anything? They don't want to cut any spending. They actually want to increase spending, and they're hiding it behind a focus group word, investment. They're spending this country into bankruptcy. Because in bankruptcy, they can create world governance, a centralized government. The IMF will bail us out. The dollar will tank. Our country will no longer Our world will no longer be run by capitalism. You understand? It will be a centralized government with their boot on your throat, like they had on BP's throat. Anybody who thinks freely. Spending cuts in the tax code. This is implying that money is government's money. Do you understand? They want you to believe that the Bush tax cuts, which were not just for the rich like they said they were, and now he's saying they're for the rich again. I don't understand this guy. He's back and forth on this issue. The spending tax cuts, the Bush tax cuts, were for everyone. He said by cutting taxes for the rich, we lost trillions of dollars in tax revenue. But the reality is our tax revenue after the tax cuts went up. But they want you to believe that the growth that happened after the tax cuts would have happened anyway. It doesn't matter. It would have happened. And if we would have been at the Clinton tax rates, we would have made this much money. But the fact is the tax cuts were needed for the growth. The growth never would have happened. So that trillions of dollars they're saying we lost is imaginary. It's imaginary because the growth would have never happened. We would have fallen into a recession back then. The Democrats are all about debt, creating disenchantment and discontent in the middle class. How do you do that? You create policies, you create taxes and regulations that force businesses out of this country, and the middle class lose jobs. And that's what's happening. And now they're going to tax, one of my favorite taxes is that they're going to cut the tax exemption for your interest rate on your mortgage. Is that going to hurt millionaires and billionaires? No, it's going to hurt the middle class by design. God bless America.